So I want to start by giving thanks for this beautiful display
Isn't that great?
of birds and animals.
Beautiful.
Don't go far there. And Pauline and Jan and about 5 other people contributed animals. And we've got a special robin that Jan's husband Fred carved for me, and a red cardinal and a duck that he carved. Many other animals. And there's even a hedgehog that Pauline retrieved from a friend's garden. And Pauline says it really needs a blessing as it has several cracks and holes in its side and one foot's missing. So, anyway, we give thanks. And apparently this, cats aren't pets. We're their pets. They've never been domesticated. Cats have never been domesticated. Scientific fact. And this one just didn't want to go up here. So Pauline, stop fighting with it and put it down there. You might not be able to see it. But Charmain, come on up here. I want to chat with you.
Okay.
So have you ever had a pet that you loved?
Yes.
So speak into your mic there so the people at home can hear.
I had a cat named Tux, Tuxie the cat, and I really love that cat. And I also love that dog, Griffin,
Yeah.
that one of our members at Trinity had for years and years and years, and Griffin died a few years ago. But yes, Tux.
Yeah. So why do you love them? What do they do for you?
When it pertains to Tux, I think what I really enjoyed about Tux was how we worked well together. And I say that because culturally, where I come from, we have animals.
Where do you come from?
I come from Antigua, the Caribbean island. And our animals, we live well together. Some are in the yard and some are inside. But everyone's got a job to do. So I would say they're no freeloader animals, right? The cats must hunt and the dogs must protect, and we take care of them. And so there's this collegiality, there's this working together thing that's important actually for those cultures. And Tux gave me that. Tux was a good hunter. Tux and I kind of sort of understood each other. And he understood me in a way that was really interesting. He seemed to come around just when I needed him. And then when I was too busy, he seemed to be busy on his own. So we just kind of sort of worked well together in the home.
Yeah, absolutely. And I got a thing for cats. I mean, I like dogs, but I just seem to have a special thing for cats. And we had this cat in Tupperville, which my wife's brother, it was their cat, and they were going to Germany for 2 years. And they always talked about how this cat was so ferocious, and how the cat would always attack them whenever they went to pet it. And I had a cat like that when I was a kid. I still loved it. But anyway, TC, the cat, came to live with us. And I don't know what it was. We teased Grant and his family, because once TC came to our place, he seemed to calm right down. And honest to goodness, he'd just follow me around the house. And if I went to bed, he'd come and plop in the bed with me. And he was the loveliest cat. And so we said, well, I said, obviously the problem's with you guys, right? But they were delighted that TC was having a nice time with us. And we got a new cat recently during COVID. And my goodness, we've just been smitten by him. And you'll see a picture of him a little later as we do the blessings. But when I was talking to you last night, Charmain, you said something that I think is so cool and something we've got to relearn, and I think the younger generations will get it. When you guys picked your harvest and different things, your grandmother would say something about always leaving something for the animals.
Oh, yeah. Did we talk about that last night?
Yep. There you go.
Yeah, I guess I was saying that the elders of my village that I was raised in, if we had to harvest anything, if we were picking mangoes, we couldn't pick all of the mangoes. We had to leave some on the tree. And the saying was, lizards and birds have mouths too. So they need to...
Say it the way they do down in Antigua.
Bird and lizard have mouth too.
There we go.
I guess I was thinking about breadfruit, which is a really big fruit, and sometimes there are only a few of them that are grown, and we would have to slice a piece of the breadfruit, bring ours into the kitchen, and leave a piece on the fence, stick it on the fence or on the ground, so that the other animals could have a bit of it too. We could not take every fruit and vegetable. We had to leave some behind.
Now, that was the way humankind operated, and in many parts of the world still does. It changed in the European countries, the white European countries, after the Vatican was able, by the 14th century, to convince all the Christians that were born in original sin that the earth is cursed, and because of Adam and Eve's sin, which everybody, a lot of people in evangelical churches today still think Adam and Eve were two literal people, right? And so that began, and science kicked in and kind of took that understanding too, and we had this new view that we're different than nature. We're above it, and it's cursed, and it's just an inert thing that we can just take from and take and don't have to worry about it. And Howard Washington Thurman, he was an African-American author, philosopher, theologian, educator, and civil rights leader. He died in the 1980s. And he said this: humanity cannot separate ourselves from nature without withering as a cut rose in a vase will wither. One of the deceptive aspects of the mind of humans is the illusion of being distinct from nature instead of being a part of nature. When humans regard nature as being so completely other than ourselves, we easily exploit it and plunder it with impunity. And of course, we're at a point now where we see, especially since the Industrial Revolution, how that's played out. And when we think we're not of nature but distinct from it, it creates just incredible environmental problems. And of course, that assumption that we're here to master nature was prominently felt throughout all European civilizations, and they brought with it to all their colonization. Francis Bacon and Descartes, massively influential philosophers, wow. They bragged about how we are here to master nature, right? And we see the crazy predicament where we allow corporations to, I couldn't grasp why native reserves in remote areas have impure drinking water. I couldn't even get my head around that until it's the mining. The mines and acid rain have polluted most all the water sources of the people up north in pristine Arctic areas. And of course, with climate change, we're really seeing that. So the results are sobering. But there is, and again, change comes generationally, and there's always been the prophets and prophetesses who've talked about this and called people back to nature and called people back to respect and seeing ourselves as a part of it and seeing God in nature, not as cursed, but as blessed, like the first creation story talks about. Everything's created, and God says it is good. And so I'm going to finish with a story here that really highlights how important it can be to have nature be connected to us and how much our pets mean to us. But before that, I heard on the radio this morning an interview from 10 years ago with Raymond Moriana. And he's the top architect in Canada. He's won the what does he get from the Governor General? Canadian, what's the top award a person can be given in Canada? Order of Canada, thank you, brother, Order of Canada, okay. He designed the Bata Museum, he's designed the embassy in Japan, he designed the War Museum in Canada, and many other great things. And he was a Japanese Canadian, born in Canada, but during the Second World War, all the Japanese were interned. And he said, like, you got no idea how painful that was. We thought ourselves as proud Canadians. The Department of Defense even said that it didn't need to be done. We weren't a threat. But this is that implicit racism that's always below the ground. And when we're threatened, it comes out. And so the government rounded up all the Japanese. He and his family lost their home, their business. But he found beyond this stream, he used to go through this stream every day as a 12, 13, 14-year-old. And he started to build a treehouse. And he said, before that, he said, I just thought of Earth as dead, you know, inert. But he said, as I was building that treehouse and I saw all the critters and everything, he said, something changed in me. And I started to see the earth around me as a part of me. And he said, it's been a positive force all through my life, and it helped me get through that time without becoming bitter. And so the power of that connection. So I finished with this sweet story. And it's our 14-year-old dog, Abby, died last month. The day after she passed away, my 4-year-old daughter, Meredith, was crying and talking about how much she missed Abby. She asked if we could write a letter to God so that when Abby got to heaven, God would recognize her. I told her that I thought we could, so she dictated these words. Dear God, will you please take care of my dog? Abby died yesterday and is with you in heaven. I miss her very much. I'm happy that you will let me have her as my dog even though she got sick. I hope you will play with her. She likes to swim and play with balls. I am sending a picture of her so that when you see her, you'll know that she's my dog. I really miss her. Love, Meredith. We put the letter in an envelope with a picture of Abby and Meredith, addressed it to God in heaven. We put a return address on it, and Meredith pasted several stamps on the front of the envelope because she said she thought it would take a lot of stamps to get the letter all the way to heaven. Isn't that sweet? That afternoon, she dropped the letter into the letterbox at the post office. A few days later, she asked if God had gotten the letter yet. I told her that I thought he had. Yesterday, there was a package wrapped in gold paper on our front porch addressed to Meredith in an unfamiliar hand. Meredith opened it. Inside was a book by Mr. Rogers called When a Pet Dies. Taped to the inside front cover was the letter we had written to God in its opened envelope. On the opposite page was the picture of Abby and Meredith and this note. Dear Meredith, Abby arrived safely in heaven. Having the picture was a big help, and I recognized her right away. Abby isn't sick anymore. Her spirit is here with me, just like it stays in your heart. Abby loved being your dog. Since we don't need our bodies in heaven, I don't have any pockets to keep your picture. So I'm sending it back to you in this little book for you to keep and have something to remember Abby by. Thank you for the beautiful letter, and thank your mother for helping you write it and sending it to me. What a wonderful mother you have. I picked her especially for you. I send my blessings every day, and remember that I love you very much. By the way, I'm easy to find. I am wherever there is love. Love God. That kind of sums things up, eh? So we're going to bless our animals here, and we thank God for them. And so we're going to begin slide. We're going to bless the animals of John Lapierre. You see Griffin, the 6-year-old boxer, and Marsh, who's 9, and Kobe, who's 9, and Ellie, who's 10. Slide. And this is Jan Mayer's grand dog. And it looks a little bit like a donkey from that angle. And Jan says, since I no longer have a pet, I thought I would send his picture because he definitely needs a blessing. His name is Elliot, and he gets into lots of mischief. I believe this was a peace offering to his human for yet another misadventure. We love him anyway. And so God bless Elliot. Now, this is Heather and Bob's son's tree frog. All right. And then slide. And grand dogs, Dixie and Jack and Donut. The two of them are laying together on the one side. And then her son in Africa's slide. Oh, who's that? That's Murphy. Murphy? Is that your? Yeah, that's Murphy. Oh, right, okay. And so God bless Murphy. And slide. Is that Linda Pace? Is that your dog, Linda? Okay. So this is Linda Pace's dog. And what's the name? Willow. So God bless Willow. Absolutely. And then slide Tony's dog. This is Teddy. Teddy's 11 years old. And Tony says, we rescued him from the Humane Society here in London. He's a great dog who loves his walks and his treats and his stomach rubs. And I know Tony loves that too. So God bless Teddy. And here is Marianne and Peter with Ogway, our beloved tortoise. That's a big turtle. Wow, that is very cool. And then slide. And then Lily the cat. Slide. And grandbabies, Murdoch, Sir Hammond, Lewis, and Oliver, who's now in kitty heaven as of March this year. So God bless you all. That's just wonderful. And next, we have Janice Lane's dog, Oscar, a boxer and bull mastiff cross, and the sweetest man, even with the slobber that he just can't help. So God bless Oscar. And then God bless Oakley. This is Lori Thompson's cat. And then slide. Janook sent in this picture of Sarah's puppy. God bless that puppy that she brought from Korea. This is our only immigrant puppy. And then slide. There's Millie. And Millie's there with her new betta fish that she named Anna from the movie Frozen. So God bless Millie and God bless Anna. And we might have a closer picture of that fish. There we go. All right. And then next, we have Pauline's dear friend, who's been recently christened Nibbles, because he just loves to nibble on her garden. All right. And so God bless Nibbles. And then here we have a photo of two of our many Mount Zion rabbits nibbling away at the grass outside the front door of the church. Pauline says, when I saw the two of them right beside each other, I thought they looked so cute, nibbling in unison, trimming the edge of our lawn. I thought perhaps they would like a blessing. And we built a fence to keep them out of the community garden, but we still love them when they're not eating our plants. So God bless them. And then this is Janine's, our student minister. Our house cat Tanner always greets Xavier this way when he gets home. And then slide. Junior, the barn cat, found our laptop on the porch and wants to watch Netflix. And then finally, Cecilia did a photo shoot with our new chicks. There we go. So, oh, there's our new cat. There's Sparky. Isn't that just the most beautiful thing you ever saw? Oh, and bless the squirrels, yes. God bless you, squirrels, because when I'm boring the people, you entertain them. There you go. Let's have a prayer. Oh, great Creator, you create and are still creating. My, how you've evolved everything from what would seem to be a destructive bang of uncontrolled energy, larger than this universe has ever seen. And yet from that, you've created beauty and life and diversity and millions of species, and you've given us the incredible ability of being self-aware and being able to individuate ourselves from the creation around us. But, oh God, keep us in balance. Keep us living in harmony with everything around us, not drawing apart from it. Keep us in harmony with one another. Keep us in harmony between the different tribes instead of splitting off and throwing stones. Teach us how to get back in harmony with nature like our ancestors knew and like people living in the country often know better than us in the city. We pray for your healing to come, and we see the signs of it even as wildfires rage and as we face a pandemic and we face the signs of global change and global warming. We thank you that you are a God of hope and new beginnings. And so we never lose hope, we never lose faith, because we know the power of love in the end is stronger than anything. So bless our pets and one another and keep us rich and strong in the power of your almighty eternal love, we pray. Amen.